Alright, so Chapter 1, Section 1. This is 1.1. The first term that we're going to go over is population. Whenever we talk about statistics or parameters, we have to consider the population. And the population is just the total set of subjects or things we're interested in studying. The total set of subjects or things we are interested in studying. So that population can, of course, vary depending on what you're studying. Like if I was doing a study on all of my statistics classes, then of course the population would be every one of my statistics classes. If I was doing a study on Colin's administration, then the population would be Colin's administration. If I was doing a study on all of the males in my online class, then it would just be those males in my online class that I would be studying. So your population is the total set of subjects that we're interested in studying. All right. The next term that your book lists is called a frame. And a frame, which you may not hear me make reference to again, is a list containing all members of the population. I'm not saying it's not important, it's just one of those definitions that is not as important as the others, but a list of all members of the population. So something like this would pretty much be impossible if my population, say, was every male in the United States. So but if it's a smaller study, maybe it's maybe I'm studying heart rates of females from age 18 to 25 that attend Copiah Lincoln Community College. I mean, that's doable. It'd be a big list, but it'd still be a list. So a list of all the members of a population, that's a frame. All right. It says your book, and you don't have to write this down, says a strict definition of a census is a survey that includes all the elements or units in the frame. Okay. So census, that's a word that hopefully you've heard before. It's a general word, but it's also used to describe a survey the United States puts out like every 10 years. So we won't see another one, I guess, for about 4 more years. But census just gets a basic collection of data from all the members. It tries to get all the members of the United States. I know I filled out one once. I don't remember doing it in 2010, but I did in 2011. I guess my wife may have done it in 2010. I'm not sure. All right, population parameters. Population parameters are facts about the population. Since parameters are descriptions of the population, a population can have many parameters. So it's like if you hear the word parameter, it's usually used with population. It's kind of like they go together, population, parameter. So if you're using some description, so like maybe I say 35% of the males in my statistics class have went hunting this deer season. You know, that 35%, that is, if the males in my statistics class is my population that I'm studying, that 35% is a parameter because it describes the population. Okay, so parameters describe population, give descriptions of population. So it's kind of like a word association thing. They both start with P. There's another one that we're going to go over in just a minute. So population, you want to think parameter or parameter population. All right, your book says, for a presidential election, some population parameters in which candidates and pollsters will be interested are the percentage of eligible voters who will vote on election day, the percentage of voters who will vote for a specific candidate, the percentage of men who favor a candidate, the percentage of women who favor a candidate, the percentage of people in the age 18 to 25, the percentage of people in the 18 to 25 age group who favor a candidate, the average income of voters who favor a candidate. So those are all parameters that describe the population that will be voting. So when you say population, we're not talking about everyone alive in the United States. No, we're talking about all eligible voters that will be voting. Those were all parameters. All right. More times than not, a sample is used. Okay. And a sample is a subset of the population which is used to gain insight about the population. All right, so it's just what it sounds like, a sample. So if I was studying the females in my on-ground statistics class, maybe I wanted to know how many showed up for the first test. And I took a group of, say, 10 females in this class, and I just said, okay, out of these 10, 9 showed up, you know, then that would be my sample, just that small group of 10, or maybe a small group of 5. Usually a sample is not going to be really small. Using a really small sample, I've seen some studies that use really small samples, usually give misleading information. Like I read a study that said something like 67% of new students at this school were suspended due to blah. And so you keep reading and you find out that there were it was a really small school and there were 3 new students. And so 2 of those got suspended. So 67% of them were suspended. So using small samples is not always ideal. And there is a way to calculate, if you want to be this percentage certain that something's going to happen, there's a way to calculate how big your sample needs to be. If we wanted to take a poll right now on who is going to vote for whichever president that's going to run, and I just took, say, white females from Brookhaven. Well, that doesn't mean that group, maybe of say I chose 100 white females from Brookhaven. That group may not necessarily be representative of the entire country. I can almost guarantee you it won't be. So you have to be careful with the way that you select your samples, and we'll go over all of that. But a sample is just a small group of the population, or a group of the population. A statistic. Well, this is probably an important term, since that this class is about statistics. A statistic is a fact or characteristic about a sample. Alright, and so you want to kind of, just like population parameter, you want to think sample statistic. So just a play on the first letter there of the words. So that finishes 1-1.